yourself fall, 'cause legends never die.
What is going on, my fellow YouTuberians? My name is Scruntt, and today we are back with some MX vs ATV All Out. Now in this video, I actually was planning on doing just a chill little video and us discussing what environments we'd like to see or what we predict the next environment is going to be in MX vs ATV. But in the middle of me making that video, MX vs ATV decided to drop 1.07, patch 1.07 on the PC. So obviously, kind of have to cover that a little bit. I want to go over the patch notes, kind of give my initial reactions and just kind of my 2 cents on the matter. I'm still going to make my overview video once it comes live for Xbox, where I can show you guys everything, take my time, and really kind of explore it myself. But for right now, I'm just going to read the patch notes. So if you guys do enjoy the video and find it useful, definitely drop a like, and also remember to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more MX vs ATV content. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into the patch notes. The first thing that they have here is an addition of 2 new pro riders. So we are now getting Kevin Moranz and also Matt Button. I don't know how to say his last name. I personally don't use the pro riders myself. I like using my own gear sets, and also my own graphic kits. But for those of you who do use the pro riders, you get 2 new ones, so you should be happy about that. Now the next thing on the list is actually enabled 16 riders in all events and modes. So I can't remember if it was waypoints or if it was tag or something, but I do remember seeing a mode that only had 8 players in it. That's obviously going to change to 16, so now we can have a full lobby in there, we can get more people connected, and just have a better time. Next thing on the list is enabled collisions on running banners and outdoor tracks. Now this one's actually very, very interesting. So the sponsorships that you see on the side of the track that you can just run through right now are going to be solid. So that's definitely going to affect gameplay a lot. You're not going to be cutting the track anymore. You're not just going to be running off the track and flying, wherever you fly to, because you don't have any way to stop yourself. There's nothing there to prevent you from doing that. Well, now there is. So that's definitely pretty cool, and I can't wait to see and test that out and see maybe if there's a way to kind of use it to your advantage or something like that. I don't know. We'll definitely have to see about that. But I am kind of glad that they did do that, because I felt like Nationals, the track is already pretty wide and pretty open, but without any barriers or anything like that, man, it felt so open to ride on national tracks. Now the next things that I'm going to be mentioning are actually fixes and improvements. So the first thing that they fixed is a bug where scrubs were triggered incorrectly on the 252 stroke vehicles. Thank you, Jesus. This was needed for so long, and I thought they were going to fix it with 1.06 with the crash fixes, but it actually did not fix it. So what was happening with the 252 stroke was the scrub was actually triggering on different little bumps and little jumps and stuff like that. And obviously it was incorrect, and it was making a lot of people mess up, making myself mess up, and it was quite frustrating. I do want to ride the 2-stroke 250, and you really couldn't, because it was just pancaking all over the place on the track. So now that they have figured that out, and I'm glad to know that it was just a little error with the scrubs, not really anything major. So I'm glad that they figured that out, and I'll probably be riding 250 2-strokes a lot more. Now the next thing on the list, they actually tuned down the 125 2-stroke engine power. So I don't really know how I feel about this, because I don't really use the 125 too much. I definitely use it, but not all that often, mainly because I ride nationals, and the 125 on nationals, yes, it can be good, but you have to have quite a bit of riding skill. And if somebody is skilled on a 450 4-stroke, they're probably going to give you a run for your money, and 9 times out of 10 probably win, just because the power is not there with the 125 compared to the 450 on wide open tracks like nationals. But I can see why they want to tune it down for let's say Supercross, because on tight-knit maps, or tracks, I should just say, God, I can't even say that, tight-knit tracks, the 125 excelled. The handling, the control, you were almost at full speed all the time, just because you can rail corners and the lightness of the bike. I can definitely understand that. It dominated in Supercross, so I guess it was needed, obviously, but I don't really have a stance towards it. I'm kind of neutral on it. So the next thing is that they fixed the rear suspension sag on the Kawasaki KX250F and the 450F. Once again, never used the Kawasaki, so I can't really talk about this too much. But I did hear about a glitch with the Kawasaki bikes and their suspension. This must have been it, and now we finally getting a patch to address that. So all the Kawi riders out there, I know there's a lot of you. I see you online all the time. You're definitely going to be pretty happy about that. So this next part is actually about audio. We're getting an improved 4-stroke engine audio. I'm really excited about that for multiple reasons. One, I hope there is now going to be a difference between the 350 and the 450. I know that in real life it's not really like apparent like with the 250 and the 450, but there is still a difference, so I'd like to hear that. I'd also like to hear just deeper sounds for the 4-strokes, like all around. I think they just need deeper sounds. That's the only thing that I really complained about with the 4-stroke sounds, not the way that they actually sounded, but just the deepness of the sound. So hopefully that is kind of improved upon, and I'm really excited to hear it. Now, the next thing for the sound is obviously new 125 and 250 2-stroke sounds, because they sounded horrendous, still sound horrendous right now on Xbox and PS4. Probably a lot of you have seen the preview or watched Wyndham's video where he shows it off. But he just shows off the brand new 125 sounds, not the actual 250. So I don't know if he's made a new video yet showing that off, but yeah, I haven't heard it, and I'm going to stay that way. Like, I don't want to hear the sounds yet until it actually goes live for Xbox and PS4. I kind of want like more of like a live reaction, I guess, to all these different changes, especially for that, because I really want to hear these different sounds. I'm really excited for that. So they did make some improvements to the stereo and 5.1 surround sound. It's just going to have better audio quality all around, so everybody should be pretty happy about that. Now, next thing is new enhancements to terrain deformation. So currently with the terrain deformation, like, it's kind of just like a brown, I don't know, line, or just like a brown circle, or what, I don't know. It just doesn't look really good. Doesn't look like it has very much texture to it, or very much I guess flavor. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a better word than that, but now we should be seeing ruts a lot better. We should see like the mud pounded up on the side and not just be like a brown line across the track. So that's going to be pretty cool to look at. I'm pretty excited about that. Like, this is definitely a pretty big patch. They said this is the most comprehensive patch that they have come out with, and I can definitely see why. Because there's so many different things that are on this list that are just big improvements that everyone's been asking for. Like, the whole community has been speaking up about that, and that's the only way that this game is going to change. We obviously have like the biggest influence on this game right now, so we got to make it right, you know. we got to make it right. So the next thing on the list is improved menu navigation with hold to scroll and wrapping. I don't exactly know what this means, but I'm assuming they're just going to fix the menus and make them a lot quicker, make it scrollable with maybe the analog stick or something like that. Whew, the menu screens. they are very bad, very laggy. I wouldn't say that they're like hard to navigate or anything like that, but they're just so slow. So I'm really glad that that's getting a look at, because that definitely needed to fix. It's been like that ever since the start of this game. So the next thing is actually optimizations and visual improvements for foliage, shadows, lighting, and the crowd. You know, general stuff just to make everything look better. Also various visual and functional fixes to HUD and menus. Don't know what that means. Gonna see where it goes. The HUD. So what's going on with the HUD that's really like glitching out? I can't really think of anything. Maybe we'll have customization options for the HUD or something. I think that would be pretty cool. But the next thing on the list is fix the bug where online riders would sometimes be missing. I've experienced that. I'm sure a lot of you experienced that. It's really annoying to have a kid pop up like right in front of you, or like right beside you, and then I don't know. It's just, obviously it shouldn't be happening, and it's not really something that affects you too much. Obviously it can, but for the most part it doesn't really affect you. But I'm glad that they fixed it, because, you know, I should be able to see somebody that is coming up and not have them magically be in first, like with no explanation behind it. Just, you're no longer in first, you're in second. Just take it, just accept it. All right, so the next thing on the list is just other general improvements and bug fixes. They also made an improvement to the hay bale mechanics. Man, the hay bales. Yeah, the hay bales were kind of horrendous, man. Like they were just all over the place. I don't even think they knew what they were trying to do. Either you got like suction cup to them, they bounced you back 500 feet, like you, I don't know, man. You sunk into them like quicksand. The hay bales were very, very odd, so I'm glad that they got a fix. I don't know about visually, but performance-wise, hopefully, hopefully they act like hay bales. Now, the next thing, we're actually getting to the bottom of the list here. Sorry, I knocked the mic. I don't know if you guys heard that. But the online default vehicle class is now MX versus ATV open. I'm glad about that because I personally like to have that MX versus ATV open just because I like seeing a variety in my lobbies when I do make a lobby. People that have like dirt bike only are just like, come on, man. Like I understand, but really what's the problem with a quad rider on the track? I really haven't understood that. Obviously in Supercross you don't really want quads on there, and that's understandable, but on nationals, like why wouldn't you allow that? I don't know. So that's just that's a really minor thing, and I kind of went off on that one when I really didn't need to. But the last thing on the list is the map now zooms with RT and also LT. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. The map zooms with RT. That's going to be the zoom in, and it zooms out with LT. So that's going to be out. So that's everything on the patch list, and honestly, that's a lot of stuff. Like, that's a lot of things that are going to be in this patch. It's probably going to be a big one. I'm guessing probably around 15 gigs from the stuff that I just saw. This isn't looking like the DLC, obviously. It just looks like another patch to kind of get everything improved upon, which I'm kind of glad about. You know, I don't want to be seeing anything major in the game if we haven't mastered just the base game itself, like performance-wise and visually and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that the big DLC is probably going to be coming out fairly soon, within the next month, but I don't think that it's going to be like next week or anything that we get the DLC. Now I could be wrong, you know, I could be wrong. MX versus ATV could surprise us all, but seeing as how they just dropped 1.07, I'm assuming that's going to sit for probably like 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe 2, I don't know. It all depends on when they want to launch this DLC. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I really hope that you did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure that you drop a like. And also remember to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more MX vs ATV content. But I'll see you on the next one. Peace.